Wanda, I've been feeling some awkwardness in our relationship, and I've been too uncomfortable to even bring it up.
Well, I felt disconnected as well, Barry. And it's not just about you and me. I think it's linked to our cultural histories. You're part of the majority culture as a white man from a traditionalist generation, and I'm a member of several minority cultures as a Black woman baby boomer.
Yep, that's true. And we're both human. I think we truly want many of the same things, Wanda. We want respect, equitable opportunities, and a life where we can all thrive.
Well, so why are we so polarized right now? It's like we can't decide whether to care for your people or care for mine. Right now, I feel like we either disenfranchise my people or blame and shame yours.
Maybe in order to really connect, we need to stop approaching this as if one or the other has to win. Instead, we can care for both the majority culture and minority cultures. I think it can be a win-win.
Barry, I think you've just uncovered a polarity.
Yes, we have. A polarity can show up as a conflict between the good intentions of different cultures. The challenge is to be able to embrace the positive intentions of both.
This is eye opening because the most transformational dynamic of working within a polarity is to understand that regardless of good intentions on either side or thinking leads to over focusing on one pole to the neglect of the other. Over focus on minority cultures to the neglect of the majority culture leads to blaming and shaming the majority culture. And over focusing on the majority culture to the neglect of the minority culture leads to disenfranchising minority cultures.
Yeah, and then there's a pattern. When you have an aha moment and recognize that you're in the downside of one pole, you turn your focus to the upside of the other. That flip can appear successful until you overfocus on the new upside and begin to see another set of negative consequences. The truly frightening part is that this tension can lead to getting the downside of both and a vicious cycle that spirals downward towards dysfunction for all of us.
Wow. Could it be that our country over-focused on respecting the interests and values and fears of the majority culture for so many years, while many ignored the impact of things like systemic and implicit bias on minority cultures? And it ultimately led to violence and injustice, like what happened to George Floyd in 2020. After that devastating incident, then we refocused our energy on the interests, values, and fears of the minority cultures. And this has been intentional work that has been accomplished over the last few years. But maybe there has been an overfocus on caring for minority cultures to the neglect of majority culture. And that has led to disrespect and loss of opportunity for the majority culture. What we really need to do going forward is to intentionally focus on caring for both. And we can do this by first replacing that or with and.
Right. Then we can leverage this polarity by maximizing both upsides and minimizing both downsides for everyone's benefit.
I'm so glad we have a process, the polarity practice that engages both sides to address this kind of dynamic. So, Barry, are you still feeling uncomfortable about our interaction? I think I'm beginning to see things differently.
Thanks for asking, Wanda. It did help to talk about this from a cultural perspective and to apply a polarity lens to things like this. Let's invite some others to participate and go a little deeper.
Okay. To all those who are feeling this same tension at work, at school, or even at home, join us in using polarity thinking to energize progress and restore your relationships. Reach out to us, polaritypartnerships.com.